We have in the parashas Vayeira starts with Kadosh Baruch Hu being Mevaka Chayla, um, Avram Avinu, and there doesn't really seem to be any particular reason why it needed to be Kachaylim. So we have a Malach that heals Avram. We need to heal Avram Avinu for sure. We need to be Mevaser, okay, and to be Mehafech stone, but doesn't seem to be any real reason just for the visit. It doesn't, by a person we do it because that's what we can do to help someone. Because Baruch can heal someone or not heal someone, but just having the visit for visit's sake is hard to understand what the point is. There was no real tzivui that was intended in this HaKadosh Baruch Hu parenting. There was a nevuah. We don't have anything really concrete coming out of it. So the Ramban speaks about it. And the Ramban says that it's the parsha is telling us that very point. The parsha is telling us that there was no nevuah, there was no tefillah at this point. Later on, Avraham Avinu must file for stone, and so on. So he says, "V'zeh gilui hashchina elav lemala v'chaved loi." It was there to be Mechabed Avram. Ke'inyan shebo b'mishkan, it says in the Mishkan, it says, Vayetzu vayvorach es ha'am, v'yekvad Hashem kol ha'am. And in Shmini, when they finished bringing the karbonis, and then there was a fire came down, and so on and so forth. So the Ramban explains that this appearance was there only to show them and to tell them that Kadosh Baruch Hu was satisfied with what they did. So I want to explain a little bit this point. It's something that is important understanding many of those places of Gilui Shechina and Nisim and so on. The Reb Chaim Shmulevitz, actually one of his shmuzen, has a whole string of different Nisim that are recorded in Chazal that don't seem to be of any significance in terms of what purpose they served. So, for instance, he has that Yosef Atzadik, they brought him down to Mitzrayim, and it was in a wagon that smelled nicely. It didn't have the normally bad smelling stuff. It had psumim, and they took him down. Now, that's strange. Yosef Atzadik is being sold as a slave, and the harshest, worst thing that could happen. And it's and there's a mila there that it's going to be something that smells good. It's like imagine somebody. I mean, I hate to use the marshal, but it's somebody making sure that and the cattle cars that it took a person to Auschwitz, they would have air freshener. I mean, it's so absurd. He also he would bring down the Chazal. It says by David and Goliath. It says, Vayachas aplishti al mitzchoy, vatitba'ev me mitzchoy, vayipol al panabarza. He shot the sling at him, and the stone hit him in his forehead, and he fell forward on his head. Now, normally, that would be, it's not usual. If you would hit somebody on the head with a stone, he would fall backwards. So it says that because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to spare David the effort to go forward, he'd have to walk a few more meters to get, so he had him flipped over on this side. Now, this is something which is, I mean, the battle with Goliath was really, really frightening. It was something that, he without Siyata Shmaya and Nace, he would have been killed. And the miracle happened. It was that he was the one who was Natzech. That's an incredible miracle. But now that he's going to have to walk another few meters to be able to cut off the head, is it important? And more than that, it says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not do nisim in any way that are not, that for naught. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, quote unquote, is reluctant to do nisim. It's something that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not want to be Meshana Seder Beishis, and Chazal speak against creating miracles, doing miracles that don't have a very clear purpose. So why would HaKadosh Baruch Hu do all these nisim? And he has a whole list of different nisim like that, where it does not really seem that it is of any real significance. So Chaim said something which I think is really the meaning of Ramban over here. He coined the phrase of Haoras Panim, meaning when I help you with something, so you can reciprocate by doing something, buying me a very nice gift, or helping me in a situation I need help. But the most important response is Haoras Panim. If I see the look in your face, the smile, the glint in your eyes, some sign of nachas ruach and satisfaction, then that completes the circle. Reciprocating in kind by giving something and so on and so forth, it's nice, but the most critical part is to have that. Without that, I don't know. It's one of the reasons why when somebody is caring for a person who's in a coma or something, it becomes very hard and frustrating because you can't notice a reciprocity from the person that you're helping. There's no smile, there's no acknowledgement, nothing. So you assume that what you're doing is being very helpful. It makes a lot of sense, but you don't get that, and it becomes very hard to do it. One of the reasons why tefillah and avodas Hashem is so difficult is because there is no sense of reciprocity. I believe that if I do the right things, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is happy with me, but I don't have a way to perceive that. So there's no figure, there's no person, and so on and so forth. So therefore, it makes avoda very difficult. It becomes one-sided without having anything to reflect back and say, yes, it's good. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because the purpose of all of these things is to foster relationship, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created a system where he can indicate to us that there is Ratzon, Ratzon HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So the Gilui Shechina, first and foremost, reflects that. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants me. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is interested in me. So whenever, and this is what Ramban says, whenever somebody does something very special, very good, there is Gilui Shechina. Obviously it's a very great thing. He says, and I'll quote the way he phrases it. He says, just like at the Mishkan, when the fire came and consumed everything, it said, Kimipnei hishtadlusam b'mitzvahs hamishkan, because they worked so hard at building the Mishkan, zochu l're'iyas hashchina, they were zeicha to perceive the Shechina, ben gilul Shechina kan v'kan letzavos the mitzvah dibaklal. The purpose of that gilul Shechina was not to tell them anything, to instruct them or anything like it. Ela gemul hamitzvah hanasis kvar. It's there as a reward for the mitzvah that was already done, or lahodia, to inform them, kiratz elikim as masehem. So the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was misratze in the avoda, he reflected that with this thing. This is probably the reason. This is clearly the reason when we daven ritzei in Shemona Esrei. We're asking that what we've asked for find favor at HaKadosh Baruch Hu's eyes, that the bakasha itself is something that's niskabel beratzen. Sometimes we can ask for something that's inappropriate, improper, frivolous, not good, and then it would not be all l'ratzon. But we're asking for something that is l'ratzon, and that's why we ask it with ritzei. Ritzei is a tefillah for that. So Ramban is saying over here that at this point is where HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed to us a new type of hanhaga. HaKadosh Baruch Hu can reveal himself in prophetic vision in order to tell us what to do, and to give us tzivuyim and so on, to teach us. Those are all giluyim with a purpose. Then the gilui itself, the fact that the person has this type of gilui, is the feedback from the person's ma'aseh mitzvah. It's something where the person does something, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is showing that it was quote unquote well received. It's an extraordinarily powerful feedback mechanism that when we see bracha in Ma'aseh Yadeinu and Klap HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then we are encouraged to do a lot more. All the tefillas v'noyam, Ma'aseh Yadeinu koin aleinu, Ma'aseh Yadeinu koineu, all of those tefillas are aligned with the same point. We want to make sure that what we've done has found favor, and that HaKadosh Baruch Hu show us in the feedback that favor. I want to add something. So this is the Ramban's explanation over here, and it definitely is a very, very important point in understanding many times when HaKadosh Baruch Hu did nisim or appeared for really for no specific reason, for nothing, for no action other than just appearing, giving Haoras Panim. I'd like to add a point to this Ramban. We know that there are hanhagas of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we're asked to emulate. Mahu afata, mahu rachum afata yirachum, mahu chan afata yichanan. We're asked to imitate HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to act with others the way He acts with the world. So chesed, nachmim are things that we're very well aware of, and we've heard it many times, and so forth. But we've just learned another hanhaga of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that is Haoras Panim. That it is very difficult when we're doing things and we have no visible feedback that the one who we did it for is motzichein. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu has hanhaga as a midah of giving feedback of Haoras Panim, and to show that for nisratzu masecha, that it's berotzen. If that's hanhaga of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then it's an appropriate hanhaga for us to take on vis-a-vis our fellow man. People know that you have to thank and give thanks hakaras hatov. That's very wonderful. But a much more natural hakaras hatov is Haoras Panim. When a person looks at me and sees my gratitude, my joy, and things of that nature, it's very, very powerful. The first thing a person is looking for is to see, did it really find favor in his eyes? Does he really like it? Does it really please him? Training ourselves to express that, to express with our face, with our attention, with our focus, whatever it takes, so that the person sees that we are appreciating, is a meditation of a very extraordinary HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The hanhaga that it made him HaKadosh Baruch Hu appear by Avram, the hanhaga that made him bring the divine fire in the Mishkan, and when he brought the karbanis in the beginning, and so on. All of them are examples of where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Meir Panim, and we should have the same hanhaga of being Meir Panim to people that did for us.